everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I've got a little bit of a different video for you. I'm going to be kind of putting two different types of videos into the same video. So recently I picked up a few bits from the Charlotte Tilbury website and I wanted to share those with you. Thought that I would show you them first in kind of like a haul style, and then I'm also going to put the bits on my face. As you can tell, I have no makeup on. I'm going to do my makeup on camera using all of the new Charlotte Tilbury bits that I got and a couple of other bits as well, because obviously I didn't buy one of every makeup product, so I don't have enough to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury, but I'm going to be using all of the products that I did get and just showing you a look that you can create with the few bits that I bought. So I really hope that you enjoyed the video. So the first thing I wanted to try from Charlotte Tilbury was actually some skincare. This was a really great way to try a couple of the different products for a bit of a cheaper price. Now this is the Charlotte Tilbury The Gift of Goddess Skin Kit. Now it looks like this, and basically you open it up like so, and inside you've got a miniature goddess skin clay mask, which I've already tried. I picked up these bits quite a while ago, so I have already tried them and tested them, so I can give you my honest opinion on them. So the clay mask I've only used once. I really liked it, my skin felt really lovely afterwards, but I haven't really used it enough to actually give it a full review. The middle product is Charlotte's Magic Cream, which is the main product that I wanted to try in the kit, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on the full size cream if I'd never tried it before. And then the last product you get to try is the Wonder Glow, which is kind of like a primer. You can use it as a primer, which I've done in a previous makeup tutorial. I think I used it in my last makeup video, or you can use it on top of your makeup and use it as kind of like a highlighter. It's a really versatile product and really great. So these are the products that I picked up from the skincare range, and I'm loving all three of them so far. I then picked up the luxury eyeshadow palette with the 4 colours, so it's the quad, in the shade Dolce Vita. Now it came in this packaging here, and then again I have already used this, but the packaging is so gorgeous. All Charlotte Tilbury packaging is lovely. Looks like this, and then you open it up and inside you get 4 beautiful shades. Now it took me a while to decide which palette I wanted to try, but I thought that this is like the most popular one, so I thought I would give it a go. I have used it before and I do love it, and I'm going to show you the kind of look that I've been creating with it recently, and just kind of tell you which colours I like, which colours I don't like so much, and just show you a look that you can use with this. But I just think it's so gorgeous and I'm like absolutely in love with it. I then got a lot of samples, which are all here, and I received about half of them with my first order, and one of the samples was the Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Foundation, and I got it in shade 2, which is one of the paler shades, obviously because I'm very pale, and I tried it out and I absolutely loved it, so I then did another order and bought one of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundations. I love this so far. I've got it here. The packaging is just the most gorgeous packaging I've ever seen for foundation. It's beautiful, and then you take the lid off and you've just got a little pump, and yeah, shade 2 is absolutely perfect for me. I love the kind of coverage of this. It gives like a kind of light to medium coverage, but you can build it up as well, and I just absolutely love it. And I do think that the packaging wins me over on this. It just looks absolutely gorgeous sat on my dressing table. The only thing I have to say is that the actual bottle of it is quite small. You don't really get very much in there, but I will just have to see how long it lasts me, because I don't actually think that I use that much when I put it on, so we shall see. And also it's got SPF 15 in it, which is really great because I love to have a foundation that's got an SPF in it. And so those are the bits that I've picked up from Charlotte Tilbury recently. I'm now going to be using some of them in makeup tutorials. So I have already used the moisturiser on my skin this morning. I cleansed, toned and moisturised with the moisturiser. I haven't used the clay mask. I'm going to start off with the Wonder Glow, and I'm going to use this as a primer. So I'm going to take a tiny little bit on the back of my hand. It looks gorgeous. It comes out like a pretty sort of iridescent gold coloured liquid, and I'm basically just going to dot it around my face. You don't need very much at all, and then I'm literally just going to blend it in with my Real Techniques blending sponge. And I say this in every video, I really need to throw this one away and start using one of my new ones, but I just keep forgetting, so I do apologise how gross it looks. And as you can, I don't know if you can see, it does just give a nice sort of glow to the skin. Really, really lovely product. It gives a bit of moisture as well. So if you've got dry skin, it's really nice to kind of add in as a primer. I'm now going to go in with my foundation, and I'm very excited about this. So I'm just going to take a little bit like that and pop it on each cheek. and then I do a little bit less for the forehead, a little bit for the nose, and a little bit for the chin. And that is how I apply all of my foundations, basically. I've then started using a new brush for this foundation. So this is the Defined Buffer brush from Zoeva, and it kind of is on like an angle. I just find that it buffs in the foundation really well. So I'm literally just going to go around my face and buff it in. And I don't know how well you can see it, but the shade is literally perfect for me. Yeah, number 2 is a great match for me. So if you are looking to get the Charlotte Tilbury foundation, obviously I would just say be a little bit careful because it's not the cheapest foundations, and if you are ordering online like I am, I don't have a Charlotte Tilbury counter anywhere near me, so I had to order it online, and I feel like the best way to do that is to do a separate order first. If there's something else you like, get one of the samples of the foundation, and then test it out that way, because it's a lot of money to kind of spend on a foundation if you're not 100% sure what your shade's going to be. But I found the website really useful actually. They've got like pictures of models who have different skin colours, and then they tell you what skin colour they are, and you can kind of try and match it to yours. So I did find the website really helpful. I'm then just going to go in with a little bit more because I want a little bit more coverage. And then I'm going to also just go in with my sponge as well and just kind of dab it in, make sure it's all blended and looks really natural. I love this foundation so far, and I do find that it stays for quite a while throughout the day as well. So so far this has got the thumbs up from me, but I will definitely make sure that I use it on like a night out or use it in different situations and see how my skin copes with it. And then I will do a full review on my blog and let you know. Next up, I'm going to use a bit of bronzer. Now I'm going to use my Soap&Glory Solar Powder, and I will make sure these other bits that aren't Charlotte Tilbury are a little bit quicker because I don't want this video to be really long. I'm literally just going to apply a little bit of bronzer. Where you apply bronzer on my cheekbones, on my forehead, and basically just generally bronze up my skin a little bit because I haven't got any fake tan on at the moment, and I'm feeling rather pale, so I'm just going to kind of bronze it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do a little bit of contouring with my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, which is what I use all of the time. I've actually hit pan on this now, which is like upsetting in one sense, and then I'm really excited in the other sense, because if you are like a huge makeup lover, I think it's like a known fact that we love using up products. Like when you hit pan on a product, it's super exciting, and to anybody normal, using up a product would be like a sad moment, but for me, I love it and I get really excited to use up a product. So I don't know, it's probably weird, but I'm excited. I'm now going to pop on some highlighter. This is the MAC Lightscapade Mineralize Skin Finish. I love it. I'm just going to use the same brush I use for contour, it really doesn't matter, and just put a little bit of that on the tops of my cheekbones, tip of my nose, and I would go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow again, but I'm not a fan of putting liquid highlighters on top of foundation. I don't like it. I find that it moves the foundation, and I'm more of like a powder highlighter girl, so I'm just going to stick with the powder. Next up, I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to use what I always use, Soap&Glory Brow Archery and Brownie points. Use the felt tip side and basically just run it through my brows and make them look a little bit better. Eyebrows done. Like I've said in previous videos, recently I've preferred to do my eyebrows a little bit more natural, so as you can see they don't look as full on as I used to do them. I'm now going to move on to the probably most exciting part of this video. I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to show you the look that I've been using with this palette recently. So first of all, I'm just going to take any sort of fluffy brush, and the first shade I'm going to use is the lightest one, which is the primer shade. And it's just like a really gorgeous champagne colour. These are so pigmented, it's unbelievable. So you really, you don't need very much at all. But I just like to use this shade all over my eyelid just to kind of even out everything. It does give a bit of like a pink tinge to it. It's sort of like a rose gold eyeshadow, I would say. It comes out a lot different to how it actually looks in the pan. It looks like it would come out just sort of silvery and shimmery, but it does actually make your eyeshadows look slightly goldy, which is fine, I'm not complaining. Next up, I'm going to take a Zoeva Luxe Petite crease brush, and I'm going to use the shade Pop, which is the brownish one down in the corner, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that, tap off any excess, and kind of work my way through the crease of my eye, bring it sort of down here as well, join it up with the corner of my eye, and just sort of darken up this area. I'm then going to do the same on the other side. Right, next up I'm going to need to blend, so I'm just going to take a blending brush and literally just blend all around the corners, all around the edges, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines and it all just looks a little bit better. I'm going to take a little brush and use that same brown colour and apply a little bit underneath my lash line. Like so. And now I'm going to go in with the glittery gold shade, which is this one here. And I'm actually going to apply this with my finger because I found that that is the best way to do it. So I just find that using my finger gives me the most pigmented look. I found that using brushes on like a thick glittery eyeshadow just really doesn't work, and you don't end up with very much glitter on your eye. It just looks a little bit pathetic really, so I found that the best way to do that is with your fingertip, and then you end up with a really lovely glittery eye. That is that finished. I am not going to apply any liquid eyeliner today because I find that this eyeshadow is quite a heavy look, and I feel that I don't really need liquid eyeliner because it's not like supposed to be an evening look or anything, and it'll just make the video longer, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move straight on to mascara, and I'm using the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara, and I'm just going to do a couple of coats until I feel like my eyelashes are looking how I like them to look. I'm so obsessed with this mascara recently. I bought a new one yesterday, so I can actually throw this one away soon because it is starting to dry up a little bit. I think that the Dolce Vita eyeshadow palette is such a lovely one, and the colours are so gorgeous. Like, I feel like if you've got blue eyes like me, the gold really makes them stand out, makes them look even more blue. But I've also seen the palette be used on people with brown eyes, and that looks just as gorgeous. I haven't seen it on anybody with green eyes, but I'm sure it looks lovely too. But if you're not sure with Charlotte Tilbury, I think that the website is great, and there's a lot of help on there. There's a lot of pictures of what things look like. Next, I'm just going to put a little bit of lightening concealer underneath my eyes. I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm literally just going to put a little bit underneath just to try and brighten it up a bit and sort of catch any of the downfall from the eyeshadow. Blend it in with my Zoeva Concealer Buffer brush, and then the sponge as well. Okay, so last step is actually lips, and I didn't buy a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, unfortunately. If you've got any recommendations for any, then let me know down below in the comments, because I just wasn't really sure what colour I'd want to get. So if you've used a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick and you really like it, let me know in the comments, and I might have to check one out. But for today, I'm going to use Mehr, I never know how to pronounce it, MAC lipstick, which looks like this. It's definitely very pink. So as you can see, that lipstick is very pink toned. I'm not really sure how I feel about it with these eyes. I think it might be a little bit too much, but I'm just going to leave it on for now. But I'd probably have been better matching it with like Velvet Teddy or something. I think that might have worked a little bit better, but oh well, it's on now and you don't have to copy me. It's fine. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I picked up from Charlotte Tilbury, and also the eye look, and kind of seeing my first impressions of the foundation and the eyeshadow and everything like that. I really hope you found this video helpful in some way. If you did like the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new. All of my Instagram links and social media links and everything are down below. As always, what I'm wearing will be down there. All of the makeup and stuff will also be down in the little box down here. So if you've got like any questions, just check the down bar first, because your answer might be in there. And yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with another video. Goodbye!